Hello. Have you ever looked at people we call successful, the billionaires, the top athletes, the brilliant artists, and thought, how did they do it? You see the highlights, the championship trophy, the sold-out stadium, the book at the top of the bestseller list. You hear the stories of their tireless work ethic, their relentless drive, their 10,000 hours of practice, and you conclude, logically, that the path to success is paved with one thing, and one thing only: a heroic, superhuman level of effort. We are fed this narrative from the moment we are born. We are told that success is a simple equation: talent plus hard work equals results. And we believe it because it's a beautiful, simple story. It's the story of the underdog who outworks everyone, the genius who stays up all night coding, the artist who toils in obscurity for a decade before their big break. We admire these people for their discipline, their grit, their ability to push through the pain. But this story, while inspiring, is a lie. It is the biggest lie you've ever been told about success, and it's keeping you from reaching your full potential. The biggest lie is that success is an act of sheer will. It's the belief that if you just want it badly enough, if you just try hard enough, you will eventually succeed. The truth is, success is not a solo act of willpower. It is the inevitable byproduct of a well-designed system. The winners of the world are not heroes who push themselves to the brink every day. They are simply the people who have built a system that makes success almost unavoidable. This is a subtle but profound distinction, and it changes everything about how you approach your life and your goals. Let's break this down. Think about a successful professional athlete. We see their legendary performance on game day and we attribute it to their incredible willpower. We don't see the system they've built behind the scenes. We don't see the perfect sleep schedule they've maintained for a decade, the custom-tailored diet, the team of coaches, the rigorous recovery protocol, the deliberate practice schedule. The game itself is just a final effortless execution of a system they've spent years building. On game day, they are not trying to be great. They are simply being the product of their system. This isn't about being lazy. In fact, the systems-based approach is often much more difficult and less glamorous than a goal-oriented one. The goal is a destination. The goal is to lose 20 pounds. The goal is to start a podcast. The goal is to write a book. The system is the process that gets you there. The system is the daily habit of making healthier food choices. The system is the weekly habit of outlining and recording one episode. The system is the daily habit of writing 500 words. A goal-oriented person is focused on the finish line. A systems-oriented person is focused on the process. The problem with a goal-oriented approach is that it is often a source of immense stress and disappointment. You set a big, ambitious goal, and for the first week or two, you're full of motivation. But then life gets in the way. You have a busy day at work. You get sick. You have an unexpected event. You miss one day and then another, and the momentum is lost. You feel like a failure and you give up. The goal-oriented approach is dependent on a feeling, motivation, which is fleeting. The systems-based approach is dependent on a process, which is constant. The real power of a system is that it removes the need for heroic willpower. When you build a system, you are making the right choice, the easy choice. If you want to be a writer, you don't need to feel motivated to write every day. You just need to create a system where you sit down at your desk at the same time every morning with your computer on and a blank document open. The act of set down is the system. The writing is the inevitable byproduct. This is how you bypass the internal struggle between what you should do and what you feel like doing. So how do you build a system that makes success almost inevitable? It starts with a fundamental shift in your mindset. Stop thinking about what you want to achieve and start thinking about the kind of person you want to become. This is the first principle of a systems-based life. The goal is to lose 20 pounds. The system is to become a person who prioritizes their health. The actions flow naturally from this new identity. A person who prioritizes their health doesn't need to force themselves to go to the gym. They just go. A person who is an artist doesn't need to force themselves to create. They just create. The action becomes an effortless affirmation of who you are. The next step is to make your environment work for you, not against you. Your environment is a powerful silent signal that either supports your system or sabotages it. If you want to eat healthier, you don't need willpower to resist a donut. You simply don't have donuts in your house. You've changed your environment to make the right choice, the easy choice. If you want to stop checking your phone first thing in the morning, you don't need to rely on willpower to resist the urge. You just charge your phone in another room overnight. Your environment is either a partner in your success or a silent saboteur. When you design a system, you are designing a life where the right choices are the path of least resistance. Now let's talk about the magic of compounding. This is where the systems-based approach truly shines. The biggest lie about success is that it's a single monumental event. The truth is, success is the sum of thousands of tiny, seemingly insignificant decisions made over a long period of time. It's the 1% improvements that accumulate to create a massive, exponential leap forward. A person who gets 1% better every day is 37 times better at the end of the year. It's a staggering, almost unbelievable number. But it's true. The small daily choice to read one page, to take a 5-minute walk, to write one sentence, these are the seeds of monumental change. They don't feel like much in the moment, but they are the quiet, relentless engine of success. The final piece of the puzzle is to measure your process, not your results. A goal-oriented person measures their success by the outcome. Did I lose 20 pounds? Did I publish my book? A systems-based person measures their success by the process. Did I eat a healthy breakfast today? Did I write my 500 words? This is a crucial shift in perspective. When you measure your process, you are always in control. You can't control the outcome of your book, but you can control whether you write your 500 words. You can't control the stock market, but you can control your habit of investing a small amount every month. When you focus on the process, every single day is a victory. It's a victory over your old habits. It's a vote for the person you want to become. The biggest lie about success is that you need a heroic, superhuman level of effort to achieve it. The truth is, you simply need to be a great architect. You need to design a system that makes your success inevitable. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. It's about understanding that the path to success is not a single leap of faith, but 1,000 tiny, deliberate steps. It's about building a life where the right choices are the default, not the exception. This is a life-changing shift in perspective. It allows you to move from a state of constant struggle and frustration to a state of calm, consistent progress. You don't have to wait for motivation to strike. You don't have to beat yourself up for a missed day. You just have to return to your system. Because a system is a forgiving guide. It always allows you to return to the path. It doesn't judge. It just works. This is the freedom that the most successful people have found. They have liberated themselves from the tyranny of willpower and the stress of a goal-oriented life. They have built a life that pulls them toward success, rather than one they have to push themselves toward. They are not heroes. They are simply masters of their own systems. And so can you. Now you might be thinking, but what about the truly successful people? What about the ones who seem to have limitless energy and a relentless drive? The truth is, they have it because of their system, not in spite of it. When your actions are in alignment with your identity and your environment supports your habits, you don't need a constant source of willpower. You simply have a natural, effortless flow. Your work feels less like a chore and more like an extension of who you are. This is the state of flow, and it's the ultimate byproduct of a well-designed system. It is the moment when your work becomes not a struggle but a joy. So let's stop telling ourselves the lie that we need to be superhuman. Let's start telling ourselves the truth that we need to be great architects. Let's stop focusing on the goals and start designing our systems. Let's stop trying to change our behavior and start changing our identity. Because the greatest success you will ever have is not found in what you achieve, but in the person you become along the way. But there is one more layer to this lie. Final, even more profound truth that the world of high achievers rarely talks about. It's the lie that success is a singular, well-defined destination. We think of success as a finish line, a certain amount of money, a specific job title, a particular level of fame, but this is a trap. The moment you achieve that destination, the feeling of success is fleeting. For a brief moment, you feel a rush of accomplishment. and then it fades, leaving you with a profound sense of emptiness. That is because you have been chasing a ghost. Success is not a destination. It's a direction. It is a continuous process of growth and contribution, with no final finish line. The real lie is that success is about what you get. The truth is, success is about who you become and what you give. The most successful people are not the ones who have the most. They are the ones who are in the process of becoming something more, a better leader, a more effective communicator, a more generous human being, and in that process their focus shifts from what they can get to what they can give. This is the ultimate and most rewarding shift of all. The moment you stop focusing on your own success and start focusing on helping others, you will find that success comes looking for you. It's a paradox of the universe that the more you give, the more you receive. So let's stop chasing the ghost of a destination and start embracing the journey of becoming. Let's stop focusing on what we can get and start focusing on what we can give. And in that simple shift, we will find the greatest, most fulfilling success of all. But how do you apply this profound truth to your everyday life? How does this subtle distinction between a goal and a system manifest in the messiness of your daily existence? It's much simpler than you think. It begins with the smallest actions, a daily commitment to a process. Think about your relationships. We tell ourselves the lie that a relationship is either good or bad. We have a big goal to have a happy, fulfilling partnership. But that goal is a destination, and it's often a source of immense anxiety. What if the truth is that a successful relationship is simply the byproduct of a system? The system is a daily act of gratitude, a consistent commitment to listening without interruption, a regular act of kindness. The relationship isn't a single monumental effort. It's the quiet, compounding result of 1,000 small moments. Now apply this to your health. The lie is that you need to find the perfect diet, the one that will solve all your problems. The truth is, your body is a system. It's a system of inputs and outputs. The goal might be to lose 20 pounds, but the system is to simply become a person who prioritizes their health. A person who prioritizes their health doesn't need to force themselves to eat a salad. They just do it because it's who they are. They don't need to motivate themselves to go for a walk. They just put on their shoes and go. The weight loss is not a battle of willpower. It's an inevitable byproduct of a new identity. And finally, consider creativity. So many people tell themselves the lie that they are not a creative person, that they are waiting for inspiration to strike, waiting for the one great idea that will change their life. But creativity is a system too. It is the act of showing up at the blank page every day. It is the process of putting pen to paper for just 15 minutes. No matter how bad the words are, the masterpiece is not an act of heroic genius. It is the inevitable byproduct of a consistent, relentless, and quiet system. The great artists are not the ones who found a muse. They are the ones who built a system for creating. They are not heroes. They are simply people who built a system that makes creating almost impossible to avoid. This is the final liberating truth about success. It's not about finding the perfect plan or mustering the heroic willpower to fight through the grind. It's about designing a life that makes success your only option. It's about building a system so powerful that your goals are simply the natural, effortless destination of the journey you are already on. It's the freedom to stop pushing so hard and simply flow.